Hey there, and welcome to my channel, The Paper Bag Investor. In today's video, I want to look at the company Very Good Foods, which I've looked at in several other videos, but I want to try and answer two key questions related to their ability to scale from a company that does $5 million in sales to a company that wants to do hundreds of millions of dollars of sales, even $1 billion in sales. And those two key questions that I want to look at today are, is their food, is their product exceptional? Is it really exceptional product, stand up to the competition that's out there, or even exceed the competition? And number two, is their leadership exceptional? Do they have the proper leadership to grow from a pretty small startup, company to something that could be a global brand? So let's get into it. And before I go any further, I just want to make it absolutely clear, I'm not a personal financial advisor. I'm just a guy with a paper bag on his head who loves investing and thinking about the future. If you love investing and you love thinking about the future, I encourage you hit that subscribe button down below, follow along, join my channel as it grows, and become a better investor with me. This channel, it's all about trying to find the very best investments possible, really looking at them from a number of angles to really see the truth or the heart of the investment, whether it's really actually could be a huge, great investment over time or not. And then when you find those investments you really think are high, have the high conviction are going to do very, very well, then it's doubling down. It's really concentrating your investment in those companies. And that's sort of my investing philosophy in a nutshell. So back to today's questions about the Very Good Food Company. See, the Very Good Food Company, if you've watched some of my other videos, they have aspirations to grow from where they currently sell about $5 million or so, maybe $5-6 million annual sales revenue, and it's growing exponentially to that $5-6 million point. But they want to go from there up to maybe even someday $1 billion in sales, as they open a new production facility, a huge facility in Vancouver and another huge facility down in California. They're going to have just massive, massive production growth ahead of them. And the question is their product really good enough to actually sell, to capture the interests of the market? Is it good enough to reach those sort of ambitions? And I spent a lot of time just looking at reviews online. I looked at a few places here I'm going to highlight. I looked at a number of blogs, food blogs, people writing about food. I looked at Google reviews. I looked through hundreds of Google reviews. I looked at Facebook reviews, hundreds of Facebook reviews. And here's kind of what I concluded. So the blogs, they're very, very positive, very, very positive overall. And it makes sense. I think most of these blogs are written by vegan writers. So they're obviously just excited about the industry as a whole, that there's more vegan friendly fake meat products and companies out there. So it makes sense that overall these people are positive. The Google reviews, again, very, very positive overall. Really, really lots of people very excited about the product, writing in how much they love it. People that are vegan writing in how much they loved it and enjoyed it. And there was quite a few negative reviews as well, and there's a recurring theme with the negative reviews. That was, they almost all had to do with shipping complaints and or shipping issues where it took way too long and the product showed up in a poor state. And that makes sense because if you've followed some of my other videos, you follow this company at all, you know that they're heavily production constrained at this point. They ship products direct to consumers, mostly at this point, and sell through their store, maybe a few other niche stores. But they have a number of wholesalers that lined up that want to carry their product. They don't have nearly enough product being made at this time to sell to wholesalers. But the people they are shipping direct to individuals at their home, they're obviously having logistical issues as they're ramping up, even to where they're at, $5-6 million in sales, because their sales have been over the last, couple of years have been going 3x, 4x, year over year increases. So you'd imagine the logistical challenges if you're just sort of a little hole in the wall shop that makes a product and suddenly you're doing millions of dollars of sales, retail sales to individuals where you're packaging things in box, let alone it's not like you're shipping a book or something across the continent. You're shipping food product that arrive there in a timely manner and be packaged properly and be cooled properly and insulated properly. So it's a very difficult logistical nightmare, and obviously they've had a lot of growth pains, are still in the midst of these growth pains. And that's, again, most of the negative reviews on Google were around this, where people were very frustrated. They paid a significant. The foods are not cheap. They paid a significant amount for their product, and it took much longer than they thought. Maybe didn't even show up in cases. Some orders where the wrong item was in the box. Some orders where the product showed up, but it was complete. All the ice packs were completely melted, and the product was warm, room temperature warm, and it says on it keep refrigerated. So there was this recurring theme over and over and over again. It all had to do with logistical challenges. There were some negative reviews about the food itself, people even who got the food, but overwhelmingly, people were very, very positive and excited about the food. That was on Google reviews. Very similar story with the Facebook reviews. Facebook reviews, people, I would say, were a little more negative, especially in the last year or so. You could kind of see a theme. Some people more negative on the food itself. But overall, I think most of the negative reviews circled back to the root problem was the delivery. Whether they were frustrated because they waited too long for the product, or they were frustrated because the product actually showed up in an unsuitable condition to be eaten or to be enjoyed properly. And so that was very frustrating to people and understandable. And again, I think just logistical issues as the company's been growing. It was interesting too on the Facebook reviews. You scroll back further through time. You go back a couple years through time. And you're looking at reviews. They're almost all extremely positive, and that makes sense because back then they were doing a lot less sales. Most of the sales were probably right out of the shop in Victoria. So you just have people going there. They're served by someone in person. They see the shop. They maybe eat food at the restaurant that's served hot. It makes sense. People are excited about it. But overall, to answer my key question, is the product exceptional? Based on the research of reading all the reviews, I was very, very encouraged as an investor in the company. Very, very encouraged because the bad reviews, almost all the bad reviews that we're seeing, which were not even the majority of reviews. Most reviews were just overwhelmingly positive, but there were quite a few that were bad. And those bad reviews didn't really concern me because they're just logistical issues. Yes, you don't want those issues in a company. Yes, it shows there's execution problems, there's organization problems, there's systematic problems as the company is growing. But those are solvable problems. If there's issues with the food itself, where people are just hating on the food again and again, then you have a much bigger problem, root problem, where you actually have to. The product itself isn't good enough. But the product reviews, where people were actually getting the product, were very, very positive. Some people saying it was even better than Beyond Meat. Some people saying it was much worse. Again, there was some negative. But overall, I was super, super encouraged by that as an investor reading all these reviews, because it showed me that if they can solve the logistical issues, which they're going to need to scale to the size they want to be at, but if they can solve these kind of logistical issues, which are very solvable problems, then they could have a huge winner here. And their product seems to be loved by the vegan community, seems to be loved by people that are eating vegan or at least partially vegan diets. So again, super encouraging for me. And at the end of this video, I want to note I'm going to be giving my sort of updated thoughts. Is this company still a buy? Would I still be buying it as an investor? So stay tuned for that to the end. And the other key question I had about this company and whether they could grow from $5 million in sales to hundreds of millions of dollars in sales was about their leadership. What is their leadership like? And in this video, I wanted to highlight some recent news in the last couple of weeks. Some very exciting news, actually, as an investor, that the CFO of Daya Foods, her name's Anna Silva, she has joined the Very Good Food Company as their president. Now, it's not super clear to me. Does that mean she's replacing Mitchell Scott as his role as CEO, or are they kind of in tandem working together? I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully they're in tandem working together, because I like to see that the founders of the company are still heavily involved in the company. But anyways, that's not clear to me what the relationship is like there. But Anna Silva is joining the team, and that's exciting. I'm going to bring up an article about that. And the article is right here. It's from the veganomist.com. Plant-based exec Anna Silva departs Daya, joins Very Good Butchers as president. So the Very Good Food Company, operating as a Very Good Butcher, announced that the veteran plant-based food production executive Anna Silva has departed Daya, where she served as the CFO for 5 years, and she'll join as the president from January onwards. So her time was spent with the Canadian dairy alternative producer Daya, if you're not familiar with them. And sort of summarize it here, but during her time with them, they had significant growth. They were actually the fastest growing plant-based food company in America while she was their CFO. So that's very encouraging. Obviously, she has a lot of experience in high growth food companies. And again, it's more information. Her appointment comes at a transformative time, having become publicly listed on both the Canadian and more recently on the U.S. Stock Exchange. Her role will be to bring online additional production capacity with proposed Rupert and Pattison facilities and expand R&D capabilities with its Mount Pleasant facility in order to meet strong demand for the company's products. And Anna's experience will also guide the company as it pursues its effort to expand into the U.S. and other international markets. And a quote from her, she said, "I'm thrilled about the possibilities in the plant-based food industry, and I believe it will secure a long-term global food supply," said Silva. Very Good Food offers 3 unique assets. Its founders are innovative risk takers with a great vision. Their core values and purpose are truly inspiring. And finally, this company is at the early stages of growth, which for me is an important opportunity to contribute. So there she is, picture of her. And then the CEO, I think is still staying on as CEO, Mitchell Scott, says, "We are fortunate to have someone of Anna's caliber and experience joining our team at a critical inflection point for our company, as we are on the verge of scaling our operations by a very substantial margin," said Mitchell Scott. "With significant capacity expansion and a large wait list of wholesale accounts, Anna's previous executive level experience at Daiya Foods will be an invaluable asset to our team." End the quote. That's kind of the end of the article. So that's very exciting to me as an investor to have someone like her on board. You know, the 2 founders of the company have never run companies that are doing hundreds of millions of dollars of sales, and to really scale to that sort of operational level is going to have a lot of challenges with it. And so that's exciting just to have someone who has that experience running the finances for a company like that, and who's going to be able to call the shots, make decisions, critical decisions of how they need to grow, where they need to focus their efforts as they're growing. And also going to have relational connections in the community with, or in the network of wholesalers and food distributors. So again, I think it's something very positive for the company as well. And both this, is their food exceptional? There's the 2 key questions. Is their product exceptional? Is their leadership exceptional? So far, what I'm seeing is very positive in both regards. Now, just want to summarize my thoughts at the end of the video here. Would I still buy shares in a Very Good Food Company at their current pricing right now? I would give them a very cautiously optimistic buy on this stock. I would definitely not be doubling down, concentrating. I don't have enough conviction in the stock myself. It's hard for me to really rate that as a non-vegan person, because I'm not in that world of eating vegan to really say, oh, this product is just the best. If I knew that their product was some secret recipe that was the best vegan recipes in the world, then this would be an obvious buy and an obvious choice to concentrate investments into. But because I don't know that, because I'm not vegan, and because the reviews are positive but not entirely overwhelmingly positive, not so much better than maybe alternatives, it could be a good product, and the company I see could grow to hundreds of millions in sales. But I'm cautiously putting a sort of a buy rating on it, because there's a lot of execution risks sort of weighing on the company that they need to overcome. And right now they're still just a tiny company, and so they have a lot to prove. If it was me and I was looking to buy into this, again, none of this is personal investing advice, but I would probably wait to see if the company had some kind of a pullback. If there was any kind of negative sentiment, I would definitely be buying on those days if it pulled back. It's a very volatile stock, so it can surge up, surge down, if you might have noticed if you've been watching it. But again, those are some of my thoughts on whether I would buy it or not. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you tried the Very Good Food products? What do you think of the company? Let me know in the comments down below. If you got value out of this video, I encourage you hit that subscribe button down below. Follow along, become a better investor with me while you're at it. Share this video with somebody else you know might enjoy it. And as they say, smash the like button. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.